Hey guys, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So we've got a cross heart. This is Shoutmon Cross 7 Superior mode. Earlier this week we featured it on the channel. However, that iteration, as basically as intended in its truest form of old cross heart, just really didn't work out. So my testing partner here came up with this other idea. He was inspired by some stuff he saw online, and he came up with a new super draw heavy engine. So this is a heavy cross 7 superior mode focused build. Okay, so it's meant to turbo into superior mode as fast as possible, so that's why it's got an insane amount of draw power. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is Yugo Souls. You can check out his YouTube page, link in the description below for that. You can check out his channel. He's getting more and more into content creation, but he has helped me in my content creation for like a year now. So we might not know the name, but he has been on the channel a ton. So definitely go check him out as well. We're probably pretty much dead even and our abilities to play this game, I would say. He's just better at the combo stuff than I am. Because my brain hurts too much doing Bloom Lord. Alright, so go ahead and walk us through this.
So, naturally, the 4 Gigi, just because they combo really well with the, when attacking, draw 1 Gio. This is basically your main draw engine, as long as keeping a red source live for your future cards. So, I do 3 Sparrowmons. So, basically, it is, you run Mervamon in the deck, and then giving any of your bigger Shoutmons the reboot with blocker. She's really important for the superior mode, because you're going to put so many resources into it. You want the reboot, and you want the blocker. And then Starmon. Starmon's in there that if just in case you go into one of your other Shoutmon crosses, you at least get the draw. And then 3 Shoutmon. For one, it's just searches, and then it's a Shoutmon in name with the rush. The normal.
Yeah, the rush is pretty important, I would say.
And then 1 King version. This is just in here for name more than anything. Like, you can use it for the Digicross, but I don't recommend it.
So why not just run 4 of the other Shoutmon?
So, because it's for every Digimon with a different name and number. So it's just giving the superior mode a different name.
Gotcha.
So it costs one less. And then 3 Ballistamons. Like, all the numbers basically are just shot down by 1 to make room for the draw package. The blocker's really good for keeping the game going, and then just blockers in most general for BT12 is really good.
Also, the piercing seems pretty solid too as an inheritable.
Yeah. It's another good one. The Durulamon, the neg 3 on play, and then giving the neg 2 insecurities, always really good. They kill off those bodies and kill off the Psychmon.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Psychmon killer right there. That's like his whole sole purpose in life right there.
So times 4, 1 of naturally. So I don't put this under superior mode. I keep this in hand just so if you get enough damage with superior mode, you can go into this and swing for game. As long as you have the Shoutmon underneath it. But if you need to, then you could throw it down. Also, if you're not seeing your pieces fast enough, the on-play draw 2 is really good. And then times 3. This one's in there just mostly as a name, more than anything else. The times 5. The times 5 is good. This is, if you can't get into the superior mode fast enough, you can go into this and at least have a blocker and something to kill some stuff off with. And then 2 Omni Shouts. These are really important because it's 2 security checks, which you're fixing to throw a bunch of pieces into your superior mode anyway, so you might as well make it a 3 check when swinging, or going into the times 7 is another really good thing. But that extra check can impact the game. And then Z Greymon, the blocker, you always want to have this under your superior mode and under your ×7. Just because the blocker is so good.
So in case you don't have like the Mervamon, right? You got your Sparrow and your Zeeg underneath, so you still got pretty much everything you need.
Yeah.
Merva's a good tech, which is literally the next card, but it's not like a must-have pivotal part of the strategy.
Merva is a one-of. I'm actually thinking about dropping one of my tamers to put another one of these in, just because she's so good to put blockers and everything having a rush. Like, she's expensive to play, but it has a really good...
Yeah, if you saw the feature match, like, of her power and just how much she put into controlling the board, I mean, she basically... I mean, she won you that game because it gave you at least 3 more turns of being able to build up into stuff.
So we'll go Shoutmon ×7. This is in there, like, you can play it if you need to, but I mostly just have it in there as a name to go into ×7 to make that cheaper.
Interesting.
So 3 of ×7. Just in case that if one owns in security, you at least have 2 more to dig for. Just trying to get to these and then get all your pieces underneath it is really important because it takes a lot to go into this. I think in a couple of my test games, I got it to be a 1, maybe 2 cost.
So you just go ham on the draw, so that way you're not really playing traditional then Crossheart. It's very much a turbo into...
It's just pure draw engine.
So you get the cards in hand, and then you digicross with the cards in hand, primarily.
So we have Fireball. I run this as a 3-of. I run this as a 3-of because if your opponent has something on the field that it can delete, it's forced to delete, and you don't get the draw. So it's very much of a save it in hand for when your opponent doesn't have anything that it can hit.
Unless there's a Shoutmon that you...
Unless it's like, you're just like, Fireball. But that's why I go a 4 of these, Hero of the Skies, because it's a guaranteed draw 2, and then if it comes down to it, you can also, instead of drawing 2, you can give it you can give one of your Digimons with Cross an extra security check. So you could have your superior mode swinging 2 or 3 checks if you do this. But it's mainly in there as the draw engine. And then the tamer you want to max out on in this deck is the trio tamer. Because having this on board and throwing a piece underneath to then gain 1, draw 1, it puts so many cards into your hand, and then being able to suspend it to digicross from underneath it to go into your superior modes is just really good.
Right, so yeah, for those not familiar with this one, it's a bit newer from BT11. So start of your main phase, you put a Digimon with Crossheart or Blue Flare and its traits from your hand under this tamer. You gain a memory and draw. So it's a draw and a gain, so you can get a little bit extended turn, and then it works just like Taiki, where you can suspend it and use the sources underneath. So you don't, even though you lose hand resources, air quotes, you don't actually lose them because you're still going to be able to use them from underneath.
And then this is another tamer that's really important to the deck. The Zenjiro. Being able to suspend it to gain 1 each time you play a Crossheart is just really good, especially because you're already going into the superior mode for so much. Being able to suspend this and make it a bit cheaper works out really well. And then my least favorite tamer, but you have to run her if you're playing this style, is
Akari?
Akari. Whoa. Reading it backwards and being dyslexic's not fun. So the on play to play the Dorola and then tapping to draw 1, I mean, it just adds extra hand resources. If I could, I'd probably drop one of these to put another Mervamon in. Just because she's so... I find her more useful than I find this.
Right, because like we said, this isn't necessarily the traditional cross heart where you're just slamming down tons and tons of tamers and getting, lots of free plays off of them. That's not the goal of this deck, so it makes sense. Like Zenji makes your superior mode cheaper. The white tamer, allows you to get more memory as well as more draws. Akari just has like the one-trick pony kind of thing.
So then we have our very last 4 cards, Taiki. This is just to unplay. It's to get more cards underneath your tamer and to get more cards in hand. So always search for pieces. And then being able to suspend to Digicross from under all your tamers. This is just to rush your pieces into your hand to go into the superior mode.
Right. So it's well, you get 2 more sources, right? So instead of like the fireball or whatever, the draw 2, this is reveal 4, and then you can guarantee that you're going to get 2, basically, or at least heighten the chances of getting 2 cross hearts as opposed to a blind draw 2.
So. Another really good thing too is whenever you do this with the first effect, you can at least grab the tamers out, so these don't become dead draws off your fireball and off your Heroes of the Skies. To at least so you'll see more pieces instead of seeing the tamers to go into this.
Right. And that's the total of the deck there. So yeah, crazy draw, super consistency, like as the main focus there, just to get into the superior mode. And so one more time, superior mode. Like, what is the point of superior mode, right? Like, what all does he do? What makes him so important that you're going to build an entire deck around turboing into him?
For me, I really like the superior mode art, but being able to swing with it and not hitting the security checks, but also his on-play being able to bottom deck stuff is really good.
Right, because it dodges like protection, like a lot of protection, because it trashes all the sources first, right? Or no, it bottom decks the sources, and then it bottom decks the card afterwards. So like stuff like X antibody that can't normally be trashed, it's not getting trashed, it's getting bottom decked.
Yep, because it avoids the Greymon protection, it avoids the X antibody protection, a couple other ones like that. Because it just bottom decks the sources, so you don't get to do any of the effects.
Right. Yeah, and then your turn, all of your opponent's option cards, security effects don't activate. So just like our red hybrid that we're talking about the other day, running the Aldemon, this has a great security control matchup because you can go into this guy for super cheap, and then you can swing into security without worry. So yeah, that's pretty solid there. Definitely a powerful card. And 17,000 DP, just like without any boost or anything like that. So he's surviving, most security checks, and then with the Darulamon as well. Also,
the King mode gives him the plus 2,000, so he'll be basically 19 every swing.
Yeah.
With the -2 on security checks, or in the security Digimon.
Right. And then so that's why you've got not the Z, the other one, right? That one, yeah, the Omni Shoutmon. So giving him multiple security checks, and then they're clearing everybody, and you don't have to worry about option cards and security. So yeah, that's why he's so good. If you can stick him on the field, he's very, very strong. The only thing that he's susceptible to is removal during your opponent's turn. Mm-hmm. So, but the idea is to go into him and just do a ton of clear a body. Cleared a lot of security, you get some good value out of that right there. But that'll do it for this deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any suggestions or anything like that, make sure you put them in the comment section below. Remember that this is a little bit more off the cuff than the normal cross heart build, so just keep that in mind. This is a turbo cross 7 superior mode build.